You won't believe what Kirk Frost just revealed about love and hip-hop. For years, we've watched the drama unfold on our screens, heartbreaking tears, betrayal, and jaw-dropping twists. But what if I told you that everything we thought we knew about the show was a carefully constructed illusion? The drama we believed was real, the fights, the breakdowns, the emotional confrontations, it turns out, it wasn't as spontaneous as it seemed. Kirk Frost has finally spoken up, and what he's exposing will change the way you view reality TV forever. For years, producers have sold us the idea of love, betrayal, and redemption. But according to Kirk, it's all a scam. Behind the scenes, he claims there were scripts, secret coaching sessions, and even staged fights. Yes, you heard that right. Those dramatic moments, the intense confrontations, and those emotional meltdowns? They were all apparently planned out for the sake of the ratings. But why speak out now? Why reveal all these secrets after so many years? Kirk's confession isn't just a bombshell. It's a wake-up call for everyone who's ever been captivated by reality TV. He's pulling back the curtain to show us how the whole system works. A system that turned his life into nothing more than must-watch drama. If you think you know the truth about love and hip-hop, think again. What Kirk Frost has just revealed will completely shatter your perception of reality television. It all started quietly. Too quietly, in fact. Fans were still recovering from the drama of the latest season when Kirk Frost began dropping cryptic hints on social media. A few vague tweets here, some shadowy Instagram stories there, and suddenly, people were talking again. What was Kirk hiding? What was he about to reveal? Speculation ran wild across the internet. Was it another scandal with his wife, Rashida? Was he going to reveal another secret child or a feud with a fellow cast member? Everyone had their theories, but nobody could have predicted what he was about to say. The shock wasn't that Kirk had found himself in another scandal. Oh no, this time, Kirk claimed he was uncovering something much bigger. He wasn't just talking about his personal issues. Instead, he was about to expose the very foundation of love and hip-hop itself. Behind the camera, Kirk said that he had begun digging into old contracts, reviewing footage, and talking to former cast members who had moved on from the show. What he discovered shook him to his core. The storylines, the confrontations, the emotional scenes, all of it, Kirk claimed, was staged. He realized that what he thought was real was nothing more than a scripted drama disguised as reality. At first, Kirk tried to keep this to himself, struggling with guilt over not speaking out sooner. After all, he had been a part of the machine for so long. He had accepted the paychecks, played his role, and let the show tell whatever story it wanted about his life. But as he learned more, his perspective shifted. He wasn't just a participant in the drama, he was a pawn in a much larger game. It wasn't just Kirk who had been manipulated. He claimed that other cast members were also forced into roles that didn't suit them. Producers, he said, would feed them lines, encourage them to argue, and even create scandals out of thin air. One particular instance stood out to Kirk, a cast member who had broken down in tears during a reunion show. At the time, it seemed like an honest moment, but Kirk later learned that the entire situation had been planned. Producers had fueled the conflict behind the scenes, and even reshot key moments to make them seem more dramatic. Kirk also started to suspect that the creators of love and hip-hop weren't just after ratings. They were playing a much larger game. By controlling the narrative so tightly, they could turn any cast member into a hero or villain. They could boost someone's career or destroy it with a single edit. For Kirk, this realization was both liberating and terrifying. He no longer saw himself as the villain that fans had loved to hate. He saw himself as a man caught in a web of manipulation. Once Kirk made up his mind to speak out, he didn't want to do it carelessly. He didn't want to just rant on social media or give a quick confession on a podcast. He wanted to be strategic. Kirk began gathering evidence, pulling old footage, finding leaked emails, and even securing secret recordings from his time on the show. This wasn't just about clearing his name. It was about exposing the system that had exploited him and countless others. He believed that reality TV had become a carefully constructed illusion, and he wanted to pull back the curtain for everyone to see. But speaking out wasn't without risks. Kirk knew that the producers wouldn't let him walk away without consequences. As he began to prepare to reveal the truth, sources close to the production team claimed that producers were starting to panic. Some allegedly reached out to Kirk, urging him to reconsider his decision. Others tried to discredit him, suggesting that he was just trying to stay relevant. But Kirk wasn't backing down. He had the evidence, and he was ready to share it with the world. His first big move was a cryptic video posted on his social media. In the video, Kirk stared directly into the camera and said, "For years, you've watched the drama. But what if I told you it was never real? What if I told you the truth about love and hip-hop is darker than you ever imagined?" The video ended abruptly, leaving fans desperate for more information. The internet exploded with speculation. What was Kirk about to reveal? Was it really as bad as it sounded? As the buzz grew, love and hip-hop producers stayed silent, hoping the controversy would blow over. But Kirk wasn't done yet. Behind the scenes, producers were reportedly panicking, and Kirk continued to drop clues. He wasn't just going to quietly walk away from the show, he was about to change everything. Kirk began to share pieces of his evidence, audio clips, emails, old contracts, and behind-the-scenes footage. And what he uncovered was far more scandalous than fans could have ever imagined. One of the first bombshells was the infamous hotel fight between Kirk and Rashida. Fans had watched the heated argument unfold on the show, debating whether it was real or fake. But Kirk revealed that the entire scene had been orchestrated by producers. They coached both him and Rashida on what to say and even built a fake hotel suite to make it look like a real argument. The entire thing was rehearsed multiple times before the cameras rolled. It wasn't just the fights that were staged. According to Kirk, producers also created fake financial drama. The infamous accusations of unpaid child support and secret bank accounts? Those, too, were fabricated. Kirk claimed that some of the bank statements shown on screen were doctored to make them seem more scandalous than they really were. The response from fans was immediate and intense. Social media exploded with hashtags like Kirk Frost exposed and love and hip-hop lies. Fans began re-watching old episodes, scrutinizing every argument, every tearful confession, and every dramatic exit. What had seemed like raw emotion now appeared carefully planned. Some fans supported Kirk, applauding him for telling the truth. Others accused him of lying to save face. As more details emerged, the backlash grew. Former cast members and crew members started to speak out, sharing their own experiences of how producers manipulated them into playing fake roles. One former cast member revealed that they had been told to pretend to be in a romantic relationship with another co-star. "At first, I thought it was harmless," they said. "But by the time the season aired, people actually believed we were in love." It was all fake. With each new revelation, the narrative shifted. What began as Kirk's personal story of betrayal and manipulation became a larger exposé of the show's entire production process. Former crew members described how they were instructed to manipulate footage to create tension, and even how producers would push cast members into emotional situations to create drama. One editor revealed how they were told to re-edit a scene to make it appear that a cast member had cheated, even though the footage didn't show anything of the sort. The fallout from these revelations was swift. Advertisers pulled their sponsorships. Networks began reconsidering their partnerships with the show, and viewers everywhere began questioning the authenticity of all reality TV. The producers of Love and Hip Hop remained tight-lipped, but they couldn't deny the growing storm. Despite the mounting pressure, Kirk stood his ground. He knew that speaking out could cost him his career, but he didn't care. He was ready to face the consequences if it meant exposing the truth. And while some fans began to turn on him, others rallied behind him. They saw him as a whistleblower, someone brave enough to take on the system. As the weeks went by, Kirk's revelations continued to shake the industry. His social media following grew, and he began to share even more shocking evidence. He had exposed a system that thrived on manipulation, one that turned real lives into carefully constructed drama. As the industry scrambled to respond, it became clear that Love and Hip Hop would never be the same again. Whether Kirk's revelations would change the industry for good remained to be seen, But one thing was certain: the world of reality TV had just been turned upside down.